Start reading, Barakallahu feek.
أحسن الله إليكم بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد فاللهم اغفر لشيخنا ولوالديه ولنا ولوالدينا. فإمام As-Sa'di rahimahullah continues with the 39th principle.
نعم.
Among the ayat
نعم. Go ahead. Yes, you're correct. نعم.
أحسن الله إليكم. He, rahimahullah, says, among the ayat related to Islamic governance are all the ayat in which Allah legislated legal punishments for crimes and penalties for those who violate His rights and the rights of His ibad. These are characterized by the highest degree of justice, deterring criminals, frightening people of corruption, purifying society from their evil, and protecting the lives, wealth, and honor of people. Also among them are the ayat commanding, enjoining good and forbidding evil, and speaking the truth regardless of circumstance. Likewise, what it contains of the prohibition of oppression includes guidance towards beneficial freedom, namely speaking the truth and calling to what benefits the ummah in matters that contain no prohibition. At the same time, the punishments and prohibitions of vile speech and actions restrict the false and corrupt freedom. The true standard of beneficial freedom is what the Quran guided to. As for releasing
نعم.
the reins of ignorance,
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So here we have the correct definition of freedom and what freedom actually means. So the Shaykh said there is beneficial freedom and there is harmful freedom. We cannot just come to the term freedom and we say we want freedom in everything, because there is freedom that is harmful and there's freedom that is useful. This is what the Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala is drawing our attention to. And now he will talk about how the rejected concept of freedom, the harmful one. نعم.
Sallallahu alaykum. As for releasing the reins of ignorance, injustice, and harmful speech that destroys morality, it is among the greatest causes of evil and corruption, leading to pure chaos and the collapse of morals, which are the foundation of every nation. Thus, the results of true freedom are the best results, while the results of corrupt freedom are the worst. The legislator opened the door to the first and closed it to the second, in order to attain benefits and repel harms and corruption, and Allah Ta'ala knows best.
نعم. What
The
about
14th
unconditional freedom? I'm asking you, all of you. What about unconditional freedom? What would be your answer? What do you think about unconditional freedom? Some of you said transgression. Some of you said chaos, harm. Do you know what Imam Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him, said? He said, look at this, this is a beautiful quote. Surely unconditional freedom for one person is transgression upon another person's freedom. Would be transgression against the freedom of others. Unconditional freedom for one person is transgression against the freedom of others. This is I won't comment on this. I think this speaks volumes on its own. No.
The 40th rule, regarding the Quran's indications concerning the principles of medicine. The principles usul of medicine are three. Number one, preserving health through the use of beneficial things, protection from things that are harmful, and repelling what attacks the body from harmful agents.
No, these are three.
All
Number one, حفظ للصحة باستعمال الأمور النافعة. Number 1 is to preserve your health by using beneficial things. Number 2 الحمية عن الأمور الضارة is to preserve yourself from harmful stuff. And diet as well. That leads away from harmful things. ودفع ما عرض للبدن من المؤذيات, and to push away that which is harmful which is physically harmful to you. The Imam says that in regards to medicine, they revolve around these concepts. This is what the Imam As-Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala says. طيب. Is this just in food? No. It's in sleep. It's in exercise. It's in everything, ya ikhwa, that harms you or brings you benefit. No.
Sallallahu alaykum. All matters of medicine revolve around these rules, and the Quran has pointed to them in His statement Ta'ala regarding preserving health and repelling harm, the meaning of which is, and eat and drink, but waste not by extravagance. Surah Al-A'raf, Ayah 31.
And this ayah is a must memorize. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا. نعم.
Ahsanallahu alaykum. Imam As-Sa'di rahimahullah says, He Ta'ala commanded eating and drinking, which the body cannot maintain without, and made this general to indicate that food and drink should be taken according to what suits the person and benefits them at all times and circumstances. He forbade extravagance either through excessive quantities of food and drink or through harmful mixtures. This is a protection from everything that harms a person. If necessary sustenance, food and drink, can become harmful when misused, how much more so would other things be harmful?
Allahu Akbar. Look at this beautiful benefit. He says if food and drink, that which is necessary for us, essential for us, becomes harmful when we consume it excessively, then what about other things? What if the Imam saw us nowadays when it comes to entertainment and all sorts of entertainment and so on, that we're not just consuming them excessively, our lives revolve around them. We cannot live without them. 24/7. Wallahi, ya ikhwa. I know some people, and you might know a lot of people actually, not just some people, that their lives revolve around entertainment. The whole life, all of it, revolves around entertainment. So, waking up, they're gonna watch shorts, and they're going to scroll through them. They finish, they're going to a cafe or something, or sitting with somebody to have fun. They finish, they're going to play something. They finish from playing something, they're going to watch something. They finish from watching this, they're going to watch something else. After that, we're bored. What do? Let's find something. Let's any type of whatever it is a circle, a huge circle from waking up until they sleep. Entertainment. How do I entertain myself? How do I have fun? The whole day, every day almost, it is just, how do I have fun? Nothing else. That's the only thing that they're constantly seeking. How do I have fun? What do I do now? This is excessiveness, ya ikhwah. And this is not good for you. There is time for work. There is time for the rights of others upon you and helping them, socializing with them, seeing their needs and so on. There is a time for educating yourself. There is a time for developing yourself. And there is time for fun. Nobody's telling you don't have fun. Actually, fun becomes more fun when you do so. I know people that the only thing they do is this. And they get bored of this. They're bored of playing and watching. And you know why? Because they're constantly doing it. But when you schedule your time, divide your time, and you have time for work, you have time for socializing, for the rights of your body on you, the rights of others, the education, self-development, working on yourself, in gaining new skills, learning new things, or rectifying your akhlaq, increasing your ibadah, increasing your dhikr, learning more, and then you designate time for having fun. Actually, that time becomes very precious and you truly have fun. So food and drink, if you do it excessively, you'll get harmed. Then what about other things? This is obvious, isn't it? The answer is obvious. نعم.
Ahsanallahu ilaykum. Likewise, Allah permitted the sick to perform tayammum if using water would harm them, as a protection from all harmful effects, and He allowed the pilgrim who has harm in his head to shave it and offer compensation. This is a way of expelling or removing what harms the body. Hence, anything that may harm a person, whether through food, medicine, or other means, falls under this principle, whether it is prevention before harm occurs or treatment after it occurs through beneficial medical methods. Similarly, everything Allah mentioned in His book, such as jihad, prayer, fasting, hajj, and other acts of worship and goodness to creation, although the ultimate aim is to gain Allah's pleasure, draw near to Him, receive His reward, and benefit His ibad, also preserves the body, trains it, exercises it, comforts the soul, brings joy to the heart, and contains particular secrets that maintain and strengthen health and remove what harms it. In short, all the legislations ultimately aim at the welfare of the hearts, souls, character, bodies, wealth, this world and the hereafter, and Allah Ta'ala knows best. The 41st rule. Allah guides His ibad in His book from the aspect of action to focus their attention on the present circumstances in which they are, and from the aspect of encouragement in it and deterrence from its opposite to what results from it of benefits, and from the aspects of blessing to consider its opposites. And this noble rule is indicated by the Quran in many ayat. It is among the greatest indications of Allah's wisdom and one of the most effective means of elevating those who act toward both religious and worldly good. For if a person is busy with the work assigned to him at the present time, and his mind, both outward and inward, is focused on it, he will succeed and accomplish according to his capacity. But if his attention and desire turn to other tasks whose time has not yet come, his resolve weakens, his energy disperses, and his focus on other matters diminishes the quality and thoroughness of the work at hand. Then when the time for the other task arrives, he comes to it weakened, with less energy. Often the second task depends on the first for its completion, so both may fail. In contrast, the one who unites his heart and mind and directs his primary effort to the work of the present time finds that when the next task comes, he is ready for it with strength and enthusiasm, and his performance of the first task becomes a support for performing the second. Allah Ta'ala makes this explicit in His words, the meaning of which, "Have you not seen those who were told to hold back their hands, i.e. from fighting, and perform as-salat and give zakat, but when the fighting was ordained for them, behold, a section of them fear men as they fear Allah, or even more." Surah An-Nisa, Ayah 77.
نعم.
Observe their...
As if Imam As-Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala is somebody that is so well versed as an expert on self-development. However, in the true sense of self-development, not just some things that are outside the frame of Islam. No, he's an Imam, one of the biggest scholars of Islam, and he is talking about self-development within Islam. And can you have something that is better than this? Of course not, because he's going to say, Allah said and the Messenger said, the one that created you said so and so. So his observations and his instructions are based on the Quran and the Sunnah, and you don't have anything that is higher than that. So what is he talking about? In 2 words, tunnel vision. Isn't that what motivational speakers say? They noticed this as well. And look, Imam As-Sa'di, before they were born, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, 100 years ago or so, or 90 years ago, he has authored this. He has written what? Tunnel vision. I mean, what do you mean tunnel vision? Focus on what you have in hand. Focus on what you have at your hand right now, what you have in hand. Focus on this. I'll give you some beneficial examples. Let's say somebody joined like this one goal. I'm going to study level 1. I'm going to follow the roadmap until I finish it, and then finish level 1. And I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the ayat that are there. I'm going to focus at the hadith and the knowledge that is there. And I'm not going to occupy myself with something else. He has a goal. He wants to achieve the knowledge that is within level 1. Level 1 has, ya ikhwa, tafsir, has from the sciences of the Quran, has the explanation of the 40 Nawawi hadith, has mustalah al-hadith, has aqidah, has tawheed, has fiqh, has usul fiqh. It's not a short program. It's a long program. It's going to need you a year or so to finish. So he dedicates, he puts his mind into it, and he says, I'm going to fully concentrate on this. This is very, very effective for the student of knowledge to do, as the Imam is saying. Extremely effective for the student of knowledge to do. So what if somebody else comes and he wants to study level 1? While he studied level 1, he says, how about I buy this book, the explanation of this sheikh. He gets the book, and then he says, you know what, I'm going to join another explanation here for this student of knowledge, or that sheikh. And he is now reading 2 different books, following 2-3 lectures online, and then also listening, for example, to level 1 in the academy. It's not concentrated, is it? And if he is studying one book, he's not focusing on one explanation, nor, let's give another example. Somebody, he wants to focus on the explanation of Imam bin Uthaymeen. So now he's watching my explanation on SOK, and then watching the explanation of another person on the internet. Focus on one thing, especially when it needs time and it needs hard work. Focus on it. I'll give you a worldly life example. Somebody wants to learn AI. AI now is really taking over, right? And it is rightly so, because it is extremely, extremely beneficial. And while he is learning AI, he says, you know what, let me learn how to make posters and photos. And in the middle of it, while he's also learning, he says, how about I start learning how to make videos? And then in the middle of it, he says, you know what, I think I'm going to learn how to make websites. And what happens now? There's so many things that he might, as the Imam said, be all over the place, that he is not ready. So he wouldn't do good at these other areas, or the next tasks that they come, or doesn't even finish what he has at hand. Therefore, the Imam is teaching us to be concentrating, and put our effort, as they say, your heart and your soul and time into it, so that you can get the best outcome out of it by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No.
Sallallahu alaykum. Observe their initial state and desires while they were commanded to restrain their hands. When the next duty came, they were greatly weakened. Similarly, Allah Ta'ala rebuked the people of Uhud, saying, the meaning of which, you did indeed wish for death before you met it. Now you have seen it openly with your own eyes. Surah Al-Imran, Ayah 143. And this meaning is made fully clear in his statement Ta'ala, the meaning of which, and if we had ordered them, i.e. saying, kill yourselves or leave your homes, very few of them would have done it. But if they had done what they were told, it would have been better for them and would have strengthened their, i.e. faith. Surah An-Nisa, Ayah 66. This is because it completes the first task, strengthens one's steadfastness from Allah, and serves as practice for the second task. Allah Ta'ala says, the meaning of which, and of them are some who made a covenant with Allah, saying, if He bestowed on us of His bounty, we will verily give sadaqah, and will be certainly among those who are righteous. Then when He gave them of His bounty, they became stingy.
We have a question in the chat, and this question could be understood in 2 ways. It could be a genuine question, like a real, and it could be as well a disrespectful one. If you know my answer already, then this is disrespectful. So your brother says, Inshallah tabarak ta'ala, if I had to choose between the two, I would say the brother doesn't know my answer. So he's asking in order to learn. He says, isn't a perfect example that we need to focus on hifz, memorization, and the Arabic language with a tunnel vision on those? We answer, what is meant by memorization is not that you memorize the sounds. Some of my students, they memorize all of the Quran. I don't memorize all of the Quran. I'm not a hafiz. But they can't tell you the meaning of what they memorize. In matters of the religion, they come back to me and I explain to them. Sometimes for me it is so simple, and for them it is so difficult. Because what is meant by the Quran and the Sunnah is that you know the meanings of the Quran and the Sunnah. طيب? When we say what is meant is the meanings of the Quran and the Sunnah, this is seeking knowledge. What is seeking knowledge then? You understand? So when you tell me I want to memorize, we say you memorize without understanding the ayat, without understanding the meanings of the ahadith. Seeking knowledge, what is seeking knowledge? The book of Tawheed, for example, filled with ayat and ahadith. Filled. And the explanation of these ayat and ahadith. You can memorize them if you want. And know their meanings. What is the 40 Nawawi hadith? 42 ahadith. That you study them, you memorize them. Nobody told you don't memorize. Memorize them and understand their meanings. As for Arabic, not everybody's capable of speaking Arabic and learning Arabic, right? I know people that spend more than 10 years learning Arabic. They cannot say a couple of sentences. And you would even be shocked. You're like, how many years did they put into learning Arabic? And they cannot speak it, not even like somebody who might have started last month. So not everybody has the capability of learning Arabic. So when we tell the person, ignore seeking knowledge, which is the most important thing, right? To know the meanings of the Quran. What's the point of you saying قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ, and then you go and you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a son. You say this is of no use to you. When you memorize the words, he neither begets nor is begotten, and he doesn't have parents and he doesn't have offspring, and then you come and you say Allah has a son, we seek refuge by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this is of no use to you. Then you have to understand what you're saying. You have to understand the meanings of what you're memorizing. So what we're afraid of is that if somebody learns Arabic and focuses only on learning Arabic and hifz, first of all, memorizing the whole Quran and memorizing a hadith is a very difficult thing. It's not something that is, it's like we're saying, start with the easiest thing. Not really. If it was the easiest thing, then every Muslim would have memorized the Quran. But inshallah ta'ala, we're not saying it's difficult and you cannot do it. You can do it, of course. But I'm saying in the beginning, when you're just starting out, you're starting out with learning Arabic, which is not easy, right? Especially with hifz and with nahu and sarf, with grammar and morphology. And then memorizing the Quran, which also needs time, right? It's the Quran needs time, needs years. Imagine you're starting with these two. What we are afraid of is what's going to happen is you're not going to continue for over a week or a couple of weeks or so, and then you're going to quit both. And even if you continued for more, you're going to quit in the end. And you didn't seek knowledge, you didn't memorize the Quran, and you didn't learn Arabic. You know what the most important thing is? To seek knowledge. Seeking knowledge will make you memorize ayat and ahadith and will push you to memorizing the Quran when you know the bounties of the memorizing and the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the same time, it will let you learn some Arabic and grammar and so on from the Arabic language itself. And it will push you to learning Arabic. It will give you that fire inside that makes you learn. Therefore, my answer is quite known. That's why when you said this, I figured to myself, maybe he knows my answer. And he's saying, you know, you're kind of trying to contradict it. But as I told you, I do not believe this is the case. You're genuinely asking me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Seeking knowledge is the way. When we say tunnel vision, you know, when you let's learn AI, right? Tunnel vision in learning AI, not just in learning AI how to make a prompt, right? You might be learning AI in how to make pictures, how to make videos, how to make summaries, how to make applications, how to make through AI. See, there are different branches, right, that you can learn in one subject. Yes. But you tunnel vision, what we mean by tunnel vision is that you concentrate on this program. You concentrate on one program, for example, just like, so, and this is our next point, which is if you find something that is easy, let's say, don't procrastinate it as well. Occupy yourself with it and finish it. Finish everything you want to do, ya ikhwa, in the nearest possible time. You can do it now, do it now. طيب. And this is from the secrets of success. So we said tunnel vision, like what we just said, and accomplish it. Do not procrastinate is what we're saying. From the keys to success, ya ikhwa, is do it now. طيب. Likewise in seeking knowledge, it comes to you in a different way. The way that you start learning, and then you listen to Imam Ibn Baz, and he says, a student of knowledge should know بلوغ المرام, عقيدة الوسطية, الفتوى الحموية, التدمرية. You just started out. You haven't finished the 40 hadith. You didn't finish Manhaj As-Salikin. So you see, you know what? I studied 20 pages of Manhaj As-Salikin. I finished the 3 fundamental principles. I'm going to read the Tadmuriyah. Don't jump. Don't jump. Once you jump, you're harming yourself. Because to show off, yeah, I want to finish Bulugh al-Maram. Bulugh al-Maram is a big book. When you get into it, it might take you a week, maybe a lot less, and you're going to quit because it's a long book, right? You need to get stronger in the beginning. You need to get used to seeking knowledge. Baby steps, right? I'm just starting out. It's too much on me if I start with something that's 1,000 pages. No, I want to start with something that's 10 pages, right? 15 pages, like something I can finish in one day, in one sitting. That's not a problem, to encourage yourself. So yes, to show off, I want these, I want Bulugh. Ibn Baz said, I want Al-Hamawiyya. He said, you can read it over and over. Next to his bed when he wants to sleep, he has Bulugh al-Maram. I want to read, we say, yes, you will, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. But what you do, don't jump. Finish what you have now. Remember, tunnel vision. You have something, concentrate on it. Finish it first. Establish strong foundations, and then move to that which is suitable for your level. And like that, you will get much stronger and you'll accomplish a lot. من ثبت نبت. أحسنت. من ثبت نبت. نعم.
In the continuation of the ayah, the meaning of which is, so he punished them by putting hypocrisy.
Continue. نعم نعم.
So he punished them by putting hypocrisy into their hearts till the day whereon they shall meet him, because they broke that, i.e. the covenant with Allah, which they had promised to him, and because they used to tell lies. Surah At-Tawbah, ayah 75 to 77. Thus Allah guided His ibad to be focused on the present time, to carry out the work required of them in that moment. When the next task comes, it becomes the duty of that time, and their determination and resolve unite upon it. Performing the first task then becomes a support for the second. This meaning appears frequently in the Quran. As for matters that come later...
Imam bin Uthaymeen commented on this. He said, some people think that something is easy, doesn't need a lot of effort. It's light. And I want something that is more intense. And some people might say, students of knowledge, the Imam means students of knowledge. Let's read day and night. And Imam says this is incorrect. And one shouldn't do so. Imam bin Uthaymeen, بل هون على نفسك, he says in Arabic. Meaning what? Meaning, make it lighter upon yourself. Bring yourself ease. Because by doing so, you are tiring yourself. And you want tutqin al-amal. You want accomplish what you want to accomplish competently. However, when it comes easy, then your nafs, your soul, yourself, would endure it and would be competent at it and would move on to the next step, the next course of action. After being competent in the first one, then with an open heart and with ease, it accepts it. And he also mentioned what I just told you. As for a person to be jumping from one branch to another, from this book to that book, one day he's reading in this book, the other day he's reading in the other book, then he is going to waste his time. And I can give you an example that I told you about before, ya ikhwa, about myself. And this example is when it comes to fiqh. Me, myself, I don't know how to study fiqh. For me, I don't know how to study fiqh. So when it comes to studying fiqh, I used to do what the sheikh was talking about. I used to look at one book. Nah, I want something more. This is too easy. I don't want this. So the mashayikh would tell me, for example, start with Manhaj As-Salikin. So I start with it, then I jump. I say, you know what? No. I go to Umdat Al-Ahkam, and I'm studying Umdat Al-Ahkam. I'm like, you know what? This is also too easy. I don't want that. This is not. I want something that gives me, like, this is not the answer. I know that this is not the correct opinion, and it's only giving me this view, and I don't want this. So I jump to another book. I go to Dalil al-Talib. Yes, it has it, but it's adding things that shouldn't be there. In my eyes, and in my opinion, I'm like, why do I have to look at these? And then, yes, it gathers them for me here. But for me, and it gives me 1, 2, beautifully. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I know that number 5 shouldn't be there. I know number 6 shouldn't be there. This is just, for example, in the madhab, that they say so and so. However, the correct saying is that these are not conditions. For example, I'm just giving like an example. And then I went for As-Salsabil. And I would study, for example, As-Salsabil, and I would look at the evidences and how the evidences in the madhab, and you know what I figured out in the end? After years of going back and forth between and reading Fatawa and doing this, I went back to Manhaj As-Salikin. Just like the mashayikh started with, and they told me, start with Manhaj As-Salikin. I went back and I started with Manhaj As-Salikin. This is before I even started teaching, by the way, just so you know. I went back to Manhaj As-Salikin. So, and I focused on Manhaj As-Salikin, because you want to start, don't you? And you want a solid start, and you want to build up on that. And I realized that when they say, when you jump from one book to another and you're looking here and there, you're wasting your time, that I was wasting my time as well. And that's why I got delayed when it came to studying fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, because of this. And because Islamic jurisprudence is very big. So I remember, I found one explanation that I stuck to, tunnel vision, just like what the Sheikh said, which is the explanation of Sheikh Abdul Salam Shway'ir. And then some of the brothers asked me to explain it, and I explained it. But this was before we made even the YouTube channel. I went throughout the whole book, except for inheritance, I think. We went out through the whole book and the whole notes of Sheikh Abdul Salam Shway'ir. This was before I even was recording things. As long as I remember, or maybe I recorded it just for the brothers as an MP3. However, this is the start, ya ikhwa, isn't it? This is the start. That you need a solid foundation, and you need this tunnel vision, because once you start looking right and left, you get lost. Years can be wasted like this. Naam. And we stop here, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. We take our break, and we start with Islamic transactions in 15 minutes.